We live in a controlled construct. We live in some type of environment where the holography is controlled, and yet on an individual level, we have great power to be where we want to be, to define our own coordinates, who we want to be within the confines of the construct, outside of the collective. Because the collective is they're suffering dungeon programming. They can't see like we do. They're subject to negative default programming. They look at us like we're aliens. They have no idea what it means to be awake. They believe ABC, NBC, CBS, BBC, and CNN. They believe basically all the collective routines. These people are vacuous, intellectually dead, and cannot think for themselves. They act like sheep, and therefore the powers that be control them as they are sheep and make them feel that they are free when they are not. The highly individualized soul, like you and I, we are immortals passing through a construct to do things in a controlled environment like the holosphere that does not cross-contaminate the outside real universe. And these are just avatars. And the construct does everything it can to polarize you. It wants you to think in terms of black and white. It wants you to think in terms of Democrat and Republican, of globalist and nationalist, of religionist and atheist. It needs you to accept one of the two extremes so it can compartmentalize you and put you in one of the collectives, because the collective is easy to control. The individual is not. The free-thinking individual causes processing problems for the construct. It doesn't have a lot of chances to reel you back in. If you're going to go your own way, do your own thing, defy the construct, be a free thinker, wake up, then the construct no longer has use for you, because every single person here is of utility to the construct. The situation is the construct will spit you out once you're awake. This is what happens to the highly individualized soul that wakes up and goes their own way. Once they're creating their own reality tunnels and they're totally disbelieving everything of the collective, and once you awaken, the construct no longer has any power over you. That is when you get to begin expressing your power. This is when the co-creator relationship kicks in. It cannot kick in for anybody in the collective. Once you're a free thinker, you're free to be anybody you want and do whatever you want, despite the opposition. But the truth is you're jacked into the central nervous system, and the central nervous system is what melds the psyche and the simulation together. So when you go to sleep, that's when all your reality tunnels are knit for you, because your entire existence has been monitored. And that means the construct has been able to basically ascertain the trajectory of your thoughts, the trajectory of your emotions, where you're trying to go, and it can build for you about 100 different reality tunnels. It doesn't matter which one you actually experience, because it built those for you. The real problem is when you defy the coding. When you defy the coding and just suddenly do something, when you break pattern, you absolutely tap into an immortal ability, the ability to build for yourself. Create armor, create your spiritual weapons, create the roads that you want to take when there was nothing but walls or barriers put there by the construct. When you break pattern, you confuse the construct. It has no idea what's going on. The construct itself cannot read your mind. It cannot read your thoughts, but it has vast amounts of predictive ability. It can predict your behavior based off your past. It's almost always right. It can also predict your behavior by your hormone levels. It can read your body language. It can do all these things. It can read signals that you don't even know you're giving off, but it cannot read your mind. So when you break pattern and do something totally different than you've ever done, as soon as you do that, you have opened up all kinds of worlds, because the present is absolutely pregnant with possibilities, but we miss it every time because we're living the dictates of the construct, the things that have been put out there that we think we have to do every day. But when you break pattern and do something new, all of a sudden there's opportunities everywhere. You meet totally new people. You're thrust into absolutely new situations, and the construct is throwing all these carrots out there trying to get you to bite on something, trying to corral you back into a collective. But if you keep defying it, it will start giving you the very things that you want and making you happy, so you don't contaminate the others. You have now become a virus, and it will give you the things you want in life. It will make you happy. You'll fulfill your dreams. You'll do everything because it doesn't want you to spread what you know about breaking pattern to the others. We live in two different simultaneous realities at the exact same time. Right now, we are suspended within two realities. One of them is the collective. It is those who are trapped in dungeon programming. They believe everything the construct. They believe the entire scenario, the world, all the paradigms that the world has fed them. They believe this. They believe everything NASA says, everything the news says. They believe what their neighbors are going through. They believe the police blotters, the police reports. They believe when somebody is arrested and indicted, they're guilty. I mean, these people here are a part of the collective. They have zero imagination, and they number in the hundreds of millions. You do have free will. And this is the whole point of the construct, trying to polarize you, trying to get you wrapped up in the racial shit, in the political shit, in the geopolitical stuff, trying to get you wrapped up in the socio-political and the religious, the socio-religious political stuff. So these polarities that we get caught up in, all these things are distractions. They're for the collective. The collective doesn't care what cause you pick up, as long as you pick up a cause. The reason is because by living in two different realities, one is the highly personalized individual soul that can create their own world and live in the construct amidst all these people who are trapped in dungeon programming, who look at you as an anomaly. Hey, I don't get him, man. He's weird. He's got some weird beliefs, but you get the things you need in life. You get the things you want. You excel. They see you excel, and they don't understand because you don't follow the rules of the construct. So they basically stay away from you. And this is what the construct likes. Once you fully embrace who you actually are and you start building, then the construct itself will start building the things that you imagine. It won't fight you anymore. It now embraces you. It keeps its battery going, which is the collective. But because you have awakened, it now has other processing duties it's got to comport with. And the deal is people are brainwashed into thinking that they have to save the world. But the truth is, this is a construct. It's not even a real world. You're here as a sojourner. You are a prodigal son. You were never designed to save the construct. You're here to pass through it. And to pass through it, acquiring all the things that an immortal needs. You're not here to acquire all the physical things. They're given to you anyway by virtue of your power. But you're here to acquire intuition, imagination, empathy, and you can only do this if you've lived multiple different types of people, multiple different races, and multiple different cultures. You have to understand that the oversoul regards us as children. We are immortals in development. We are spiritual architects. We are here to perform spiritual alchemy, the transmutation of the imagination, which is purely spirit,